When you first enter the room in this state capitol, housing what is often regarded as Benton's best work, you are struck by the naivety of, where do I begin? It's impossible to stand back and take in the mural in its entirety. You ultimately start stage left and begin to view the mural a few steps at a time. What impresses a viewer at first are the bold, flowing design of one scene into another, and then the dramatic use of color. You can view for minutes at a time on a scene and marvel at the detail and depth of images, creating a social history of the state of Missouri. Upon consistent viewing, you wonder why the mural was designated to this 25 by 50-foot lounge in the Capitol. But despite the circumstance, Thomas Hart Benton overcame the environment for his mural. Through his vision and execution, you could start to believe that possibly the house lounge was designed for the mural and not the other way around. Perhaps this is the test of a great artist, creating beauty and truth in a setting where neither existed before.
As a professional journalist, I cover the who, the what, and the where of the history in the making. Thomas Hart Benton was a student of history, but he saw it from a different perspective than many people see it. He believed that the ordinary tasks of being a blacksmith, a brewer, a farmer, and so on were of much greater importance than most tasks of famous leaders. You start your tour of the social history mural with the arrival of the wagon trains and the river boats and the early clearing of the land. You see hard work, the diversion of a turkey shoot, and the beginning of commerce with the settler trading in Osage Indian whiskey for furs. Pictured above the north door is Benton's tribute to Mark Twain, portraying his famous literary character Huck Finn, showing off his catfish. As you look at the details, you'll see that under a full moon you can read the steamboat is named Sam Clemens. Paneled to the left of the door is a separate portrayal of the cruelty of slavery. The right panel pictures yet another dark part of Missouri history, with the Mormons being run out of the state. As the mural continues, so does the hard work, the continuing cruel slave trade, and new saints being baptized. The mural, at this point, makes a right turn with the wall. Politics as a social occasion is highlighted as his father, Colonel M.E. Benton, is making a stump speech. Citizens either listen or go about with their roles. Senator Ed Barber of Springfield tries to quiet two boys, Benton's nephews. A mother diapers her child as other ladies prepare the meal. The steam of a riverboat mixes with the destruction of the Civil War, while a slave is lynched. But despite the turbulence, the mills keep churning, the farmer tends to the field, the loggers cross-cut the trees. Above the east door, a sliver of moonlight reveals the criminality of the James Gang as it plies its terror on a bank and a railroad. Paneled to the left of the door is a tribute to the Pony Express, which began its sojourn from St. Joseph. To the right is plantation life with its elegance along the Mississippi River. Farming and rural lifestyle continue as the grain is threshed, stored, and shipped, while 4 generations realize the comforts of home. Mr. Benton's family again passively is introduced into the mural. Nat Benton, who is Thomas's brother, was prosecuting attorney for Greene County. You see him pleading his case before the jury and an apparent disinterested judge. As you look up, you find a red brick courthouse of Neosho, Missouri, Mr. Benton's boyhood hometown. Also from Mr. Benton's personal history is a tower of a zinc mining operation with shale piles from a Joplin mining company. The third panel of the mural focuses in on Missouri's large cities, St. Louis and Kansas City. Again, hard, everyday work is the subject matter. From the secretary, manufacturing, to brewing, Benton sees history. Above the door in this panel is the legend of Frankie and Johnny. She caught her man, and he was doing her wrong in St. Louis. The inset panel to the left shows a Prohibition speakeasy where whiskey was still sold. And the panel to the right was a tribute to the poor of the Depression, pillaging through debris by a railroad yard. The Kansas City panel illustrates the meat butchering business, juxtaposed with the refined Nelson Gallery of Art, while businessmen gather for an evening dinner with political boss Tom Pendergast comfortably in charge. So what does it all mean? Benton's own words possibly give us the best interpretation.
Most of the meanings are grounded in some aspect of our general American culture, of our everyday life, should readily be discovered by any American who has the will to do so. The meanings are, of course, indeterminate, suggested rather than precisely defined, and open to free interpretations, as I believe they should be in the end. The meanings of the pictures must be found by those who view them.
Did the mural create controversy? Oh, sure. The controversies were long and sustaining. They centered on what was included, such as a naked baby, versus what was excluded, such as Charles Lindbergh. Benton knew it would create controversy, and possibly his own words posted on a letter while he painted the mural provide us with some insight as to his thoughts on the controversy.
The theme does not demand the representation of specific characters or events emphasized in historic record. It calls simply for a depiction of the ways people lived lives and the changes they effected in their environment as Missouri developed. I have been as inclusive as possible with my subject matter, but although these are big walls, there is much significant and interesting matter I've had to leave out.
I can sympathize with Mr. Benton. There is so much on his 100-foot mural that I've had to skip over in this brief tour of the social history of Missouri. I hope you take time to visit for your own interpretation. Mr. Benton believed most viewers could take their own message from the art, and we hope you can too.
On May 12, 1962, Thomas Hart Benton received from the citizens of Neosho the finest day of my life. Mr. Benton rode into Neosho on a special train with President Harry Truman. When they arrived at the train station, Tom became nervous, so he asked President Truman to depart from the train first. President Truman refused, saying, "No, this is your day, and you need to get off the train first."
Whatever else may happen to me, it will always be the day I will remember as the day of my greatest success and greatest pleasure. It will also be the day that brought the strongest intimidations I have ever had of being at one with and in harmony with the people of my country, and with that indefinite essence, the American spirit, which informs them.
In 1972, Mr. Benton began work on a mural for Joplin, Missouri, and its centennial celebration in 1973.
The city of Joplin plays a significant role in the life of Thomas Hart Benton. The year was 1906, when a young Benton, during a summer break from Neosho High School, came to Joplin and began working as a surveyor's assistant in the zinc mining fields. Benton subsequently took a job at the Joplin American Newspaper as a cartoonist. 65 years later, he would be reintroduced to the Joplin community, the very community that he began his artistic career. The city of Joplin was approaching its 100-year celebration, and community leaders wanted to recognize this historic event. City leaders contacted Benton and asked him to paint a historical centennial celebration mural to commemorate the 100-year anniversary. Benton agreed and finished the mural in 1973, calling it Joplin at the Turn of the Century, 1896-1906. The mural captures Benton's perception of Joplin's landscape at that time. The mural is full of mining references, the open culture of a booming mining city, and a reference to the Joplin Main Street and the House of Lords. The mural details the mining heritage of the district with a windlass or Armstrong hoist in the far right-hand corner. A mining derrick can be seen on the horizon. Also depicted is a family riding in a wagon with all their possessions. A sign is attached to the wagon stating, "Joplin or bust," which fittingly signifies the mining era. The mural is also significant because Benton is in it. The mural shows Benton with his sleeves rolled up, working for the Joplin American Newspaper. Today, the mural adorns the first floor of the recently restored 1910 Newman Building and the current City Hall of Joplin. Located on the mezzanine is an entire display containing sketches, correspondence, photographs, and a fabulous three-dimensional clay model that Benton created. The sketching and clay model of the future mural helped him accomplish the three-dimensional technique, providing a depth and flow to his art. Another road sign in the mural points to Neosho, Benton's birthplace.
In 2005, the Newton County Tourism Council decided it was time to again honor Mr. Benton. But their goal was not just to live in history, but also to utilize the history to create new beginnings. This has led to the annual Thomas Hart Benton Festival and the Murals of Newton County and Southwest Missouri.